Welcome to the Rose Maroc Podcast, where we talk about anything and everything. Love, healing, growth, business, friendships, relationships, family, social and current events, fashion, entertainment. The list goes on. Look, we even got drama. Okay, we got the tea. I mean, if we don't, then we'll find it somewhere. Nothing is off limits. And so, what? We have limits? Why are you gonna tell me that when I'm trying to be professional? You see me doing this. What do we or don't we? Oh, okay. Well, look, I guess you gotta follow to know. Be sure to be in tune with two of the craziest cousins every other Friday. Pretty soon you keep on listening, we all gonna be family. And you know how it is when family gets together, especially the cousins. Check you later.
Hey. What's up, Rose family? We always doing something silly, y'all. I swear.
Whole countdown and we ain't paying attention.
Ain't paying the countdown, no man, y'all. We just excited to be here. We excited to be back for episode 2 of season 2. Come on, y'all, make some noise. What the fuck?
2 makes 4. That's why it's 2024.
What Sexy Red said? Come on, make some noise. What the fuck? Okay, sorry. But yes, we are so happy to be here, y'all. Season 2, episode 2. We moving right along. It's the new year. We're excited to have some some new content to bring you guys.
Right.
We always start off by saying thank y'all for following us. Listen, I know it sounds cliche, but we always want to do that because y'all don't have to support us.
Right.
So we just want to thank y'all for supporting us. Thank you for being loyal followers. Ooh. All the likes, all the shares, all the reposts, we see y'all and we truly do appreciate it. And yes, as long as y'all keep supporting, we're gonna keep giving y'all content, right, B?
Right. And even if you don't support, for those who do support, we still gonna drop content. Like we said in the last episode and the episode before that and episodes before that, we're gonna reach who we're supposed to reach. So whether it's 5, 10, or 15, we're still gonna drop as if it was 30,000. So we just want to keep up with the momentum, give you content, be relatable as always, and just have a good time while we're doing it.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. It's all about having a good time. And like Bianca said, it's about being relatable. You can get up here and talk about anything, but if the people can't relate, it's just not going to stick. With that being said, y'all, we are on our episode, like we said, episode 2, season 2. The title of this episode is Standing on Business, y'all. Because
I like to call it Standing on Business.
Okay, well, standing on business.
Business.
I like that because there's a difference between standing on business.
Oh, yeah.
And standing on business.
Without the G, standing.
Standing on business.
Standing.
We got it. So, y'all, this episode is called Standing on Business. Now, if y'all recall, well, first of all, let me just say this personally. I am a huge, big fan of Drewski. And Drewski, if y'all don't know him, he's a comedian, a social media influencer, makes a lot of skits, and he's been in a few movies. Drewski posted a skit about people that's basically, he said, this how guys be when they swear they standing on business. And the skit was just making a mockery out of basically people that really don't be standing on business. Go on his page and watch it if you need to. But we wanted to kind of talk about that because even though it was something like funny and comedic, it really was true. So me and B just started having, a lot of times, y'all, our episode content comes from us just having regular conversation.
Right.
And so we started talking about like what standing on business means to each of us. And then we just went down a whole rabbit hole, y'all. So we just gonna bring this conversation to life here. Did you see his skit, Bianca?
No.
You didn't?
No. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't
Do me a favor.
I know who Drewski is.
Turn your mic up. I don't mean to interrupt you. Turn your mic up a little bit.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Is it better?
Yeah, that's a little bit. No, hit your other button.
Oh, the button on the back. The button that, girl, yeah, we're going to get on Standing on Business about that one.
Working through it, y'all. Bear with us. You clicked it.
Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah, it sounds
okay. I hear me too. Okay. But yeah, so I know who Drewski is. I just, of course, I've seen, I'm going to see the skit, but I didn't even know Standing on Business came from him. I just saw everybody talking about it, and I'm like, okay, what's going on?
Well, I don't know if it like originated with him,
Mhm.
but the first time I saw people talking about standing on business was when Drewski made that skit. And one of the things he did in the skit was he recorded himself being a fake rapper in the studio, and the song was called Standing on Business.
Okay.
But the only lyric in the song was standing on business. So he's basically saying, like, people say they standing on business so much to kind of hide the fact that they don't really be standing on business.
Okay.
That's what I got from it. It's like they're being fake.
Fake out.
Exactly. It's like they're being fake about it. And standing on business can be so many different things. But before we get into that, I'm sorry, B. I know you wanted to say your thanks and everything to everybody. That's my bad. Go ahead, girl.
Girl, your thanks is my thanks. I'm good. But yes, I just want to thank everybody for following, adding the YouTube page and adding the Instagram page. For our loyal followers, thank you for continuously supporting and following and sharing and commenting and liking, because we know that although yes we say we want to reach a high multitude of people, we know that there are, you know, those loyal few who look forward to us dropping when we're supposed to drop.
Mm-hmm.
So I really want to thank those individuals. I want to thank the new individuals, and I want to pre-thank those who are going to join the family later on.
Yes, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
So, like we said, y'all, that's always a thing for us. We never want, and I don't care how big this podcast gets, we will never not take the time to thank y'all and appreciate y'all and show our love.
Right.
Speaking of this podcast and speaking on standing on business, Bianca, y'all, we have
If y'all
been
knew.
so, I mean, like, okay, with every level comes a new devil. We know that, right?
Oh, I like that.
And cha-ching. And
Like a bumper sticker.
right, we've been coming from audio to video, and y'all, it's been a task. Like, it's been hard. Like, we record stuff and then all of a sudden it's not there. We go to upload and it's giving us error after error after error. Y'all, like, we have really, really been frustrated with this
Mm-hmm.
process, right?
Right.
Like, it's
It's
like, and we know it's just the devil. We know that.
because everything's a learning process, but still at the end of the day, when we think that we've accomplished something, it's like, oh, okay, we know that now. Let's try that, you know, on the next one, and then we do it, and then it's like something else. Like we were stressed. We're sitting here supposed to be celebrating the holiday and everything, and to go along with this title, we stood on business, meaning stood on business, meaning that we was gonna get that episode out.
Yeah. And on top of that, y'all, the episode cut off, part one cut off abruptly,
Mm-hmm.
and it would not let us fix it. It would not even let us post it with our outro on there. And that kind of pissed us off because it's like, we don't want to put out and just know anything. However, Bianca actually was like, you know what? We just got to keep pressing. You know what I'm saying? So, y'all, we stood on business and we got them episodes out anyway, even though there was a little few hiccups in there. But we still wanted to get that out because, you know, we pride ourselves in being consistent. I know my word for the year is consistency. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we really had to stand on business, y'all, and get that out like y'all just don't know.
Right. And that brings us into the whole title and episode and meaning. When you
Mm-hmm.
stand on business about something, it's you have to hold yourself accountable, and you have to make sure that you're producing what it is that you're trying to portray, that what you're trying to give. And like Lauren said, there were some hiccups, but at the end of the day, it was still a great episode. You know, our message still got out. And for those loyal listeners and viewers, y'all know us. So I'm pretty sure nobody even noticed it. Like I even, you know, my mom is one of the very you know, loyal listeners and viewers, and she was like, you know, I noticed at the end, she said, but girl, y'all was funny, y'all was good. And I was like, yeah, you know, mom, I had to, you know, tell her that we were struggling because I was texting her, okay, mom, I can't talk because I got to record, and she was like, y'all meant y'all was gonna get it. Yes, we did.
Cause Man, we really like had to like dig deep. And I know it sounds cliche, but no, dead ass, we really did. And when you talked about Bianca, like when you're standing on business, like holding yourself accountable because you're trying to produce something. I don't care if it's a podcast. I don't care if it's music. I don't care if it's a book. I don't care if it's you trying to make it to the end of your work shift. I don't care if it's you taking care of your kids. I don't care. Like, you're still trying to produce something. And so holding yourself accountable, yes, that's a big thing. But the first thing I think about for me
Mm-hmm.
with standing on business is, what is my foundation? Because I
Foundational.
feel like you can't be strong in something without having a foundation, whether
Mm.
God is your foundation to say, you know what, God, you're gonna be with me in this, um or whatever, like, what is your foundation first? Because that's gonna allow you to be strong in standing on business. And I think a lot of times we take these popular quotes and we just, oh, I'm standing on business, I'm standing on business.
Right.
But what do you really believe? Like, what are you really, you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I just think sometimes you just got to dig a little deep and kind of ask yourself those questions. You know what I'm saying? When you say, I'm going to stand on business, I'm going to be accountable and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Because it all goes back to knowing who you are and knowing what it is that you want, knowing what you're accepting, what you're not accepting, and then stand on business about what you say
Hmm.
because words have power. So stand on business about what
Oh,
you're saying. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying for this year, I'm not going to let anyone deter me or tear me down. Okay, so then when somebody come and they do just that, what are
hmm,
you doing about it? Are you speaking up for yourself? Or
yep.
I'm not gonna get involved in, we like to call it petty drama. I'm too grown, I'm too old. No, say what it is. You're not gonna talk to me that way, you're not gonna be that way towards me. I'm standing on business about how people are approaching me, because that then I'm not about to take in any negative energy, because then I'm only gonna produce that, and I'm standing on business of producing positive energy.
I
So
like that.
words have power. So stand on business about what you say and hold yourself accountable, hold others accountable for how they're going to treat you. Because people are only going to treat you how you let them treat you.
Yeah. And, and that's really, oh, that's so good, Bianca, because it standing on business can go so many different ways, right? And when you say your words have power, that's just confirmation for me, for real, because I'm not gonna get too deep into it. But I went to church today and the pastor talked about just declaring things as not as though they were, meaning
Mm-hmm.
that God gave us the authority to say, um I will not lack, or I will be successful, and things like that.
Right.
So with standing on business, you have to operate in that, and you have to use the authority that God gave you, because you can say, oh no, I will not let this job drive me crazy with overtime. I'm standing on business. I'm not going to stay. Or I will not let this friendship be abusive. Or I will not let this person continue to cheat on me, or whatever it is. So I like that you said that, because a lot of times we going to say we standing on business, but we forget that God is the center of it all. So
Mm-hmm.
he gives us the authority to do these things. He gives us the authority to stand on business. So I just wanted to insert that in there, because y'all know we always said we is not a preaching podcast, but we are both young women who love God and we're Christians. So you're gonna hear it come up, when need be. But yeah, I like that. And what happens when you can't hold yourself accountable though, B? Because a lot of people always say, accountability is hard for me. Like, what do you do? Like, you know?
I think then you should set goals or standards for yourself that you can reach.
Mm,
Like, I want to give my all. I want to give 100%, but I know myself, and you have to be honest with yourself. I know myself. I can only give 25% right now.
mm-hmm.
You give that 25%, and then it's like, okay, I did that, and you pat your own self on the back. Don't ever wait for somebody else to pat you on your back about standing on business. You pat your own self on your back.
So
So
baby steps.
yeah, baby steps, and it's always like how we always say, you got to know yourself. So don't try to portray an image that's not there. So
Mm-hmm.
I want to give my all, but I know right now I got this, I got that, I got this. So for this, I can only give 75%. So
Yeah.
once you get to that 75%, okay, so then I've already accomplished that. I stood on business about getting to this point, not to 100 because I know I can't get there, but I stood on business about getting here. So
I
then
like
when
that.
it comes time to give your other 25% to get to that 100, you've reached your goal on whatever it may be, whether it's finishing school. And it doesn't have to be anything tangible. I'm standing on business about how I feel about letting this job work me to the bone, and you're not giving me my recognition. You're not respecting and
Mm-hmm.
appreciating what I'm putting into this job. So now I'm standing on business. No, you're going to respect that I have mental days.
Mm-hmm.
I have my PTO and I'm going to use it as such. I have these sick days. I have a family. I have children that I may need to call off. And I do my work. So don't disrespect and discredit my work. Like, no, you're going
Yeah.
to respect and accept. And it's just one example.
Yeah.
But yeah, you pat your own stuff on the back and you know what you can give to get to that goal.
That's big. Because and in this podcast, y'all, like I know last season 1, and y'all can always go back to our Instagram page at RFAR_pod to replay those older episodes. But like we talk about in almost every episode, the key up under God is knowing yourself. And so, like Bianca said, you have to know what you're capable of. You
Mm-hmm.
know, back to that Drewski video, he went running up to like 50 guys and was like ready to fight all of them. And then they got on him and he took off running, right? It's funny, but no, it's real because it can be like that in life. You know, you should feel like no goal is too big for you to handle. However, you have to know your threshold and how much you can take.
Right.
Okay, this week I can only write down the plan. I can't write down the plan, execute the plan, and succeed in the plan in one day.
Right.
So you have to know yourself. Okay, this week I'm gonna write it down. This week I'm gonna reach out to somebody and see if they can help me with any information they know.
Mm.
Next week you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I like that because me personally, I'm the type of person I get overwhelmed if I try to do a lot at once.
Right.
So I have to take baby steps. However, standing on business don't just mean, oh, I said I'm gonna do this and I did it. Standing on business is the in between.
Mm.
You know, if you're trying to score a touchdown, hey, you got to get first down after first down after first down. Every now and then, yes, there's a Hail Mary into the end zone, but that
Right.
doesn't happen all the time. So
That's
if
true.
you throw that Hail Mary and it doesn't get to the end zone, then okay, we got to do this thing little by little.
Okay, side note, I like that girl because we got the men followers and listeners. Shout out to
Yeah.
y'all. And that was a good little man verse.
Yeah. See, I like to
Yeah.
throw, we universal over here at Rose from a Rock
Mm-hmm.
Pod.
Universal remote. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, universal soul circuit. No,
Circus.
but y'all, Bianca make me act dumb. Okay, I'm just
Bruh,
saying.
I cannot. I cannot.
But what was we saying, girl?
Girl, I don't know.
About standing on business, little by little,
Yeah, little by little.
little by little.
Because I think that we as people look to others and see what they're doing
Come
and then
on,
try to put what they're doing on us.
come on.
Oh, she did it this way, so I should be able to do it this way. No, you're
Mm-hmm.
not her and she's not you, or he's not you. You know what I'm saying? They're not
Mm-hmm.
you. So just because they made it to, okay, prime example. Lauren and I, when we were in high school, we knew what we wanted to do, right? And so we took the necessary steps to start off right then and there. Lauren knew she wanted to, go in the nursing field. I knew I wanted to write journalism, everything like that. So we started there, where we may have known other people. I think it was a guy. What is his name? Remember Terrell? They did the
Yeah.
news, the school news. Terrell
Yep.
is like, he doing it, and so I can't put
Say what? I'm sorry, B. Say what he's doing again, Terrell
Terrell. Oh my God, what is his last name?
Brown.
Terrell Brown. He's still a news anchor.
Yeah.
He's a news anchor,
Mm-hmm.
and so excuse me, y'all. Journalism is like a lot of different. You can do PR, radio, television, broadcasting, marketing, whatever the case is. And so I can't put where I want to be and where I'm trying to go based off of what Terrell has. Terrell's on the news, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know what steps he took. I don't know, if he skipped a step, advanced a step, went back on a step. I don't know what his process was. I only see where he started and the end goal.
Yeah.
So I can't base myself, although, because we're in the same field, I can't base where I'm at and where I'm trying to go off of the process that I saw him go through, because I didn't see the whole process.
Right. But for the people that's listening, I ain't mean to interrupt you. I just want to
That's
throw
fine.
this in here that in school we had this thing called the Warrior News or something like that.
Right.
And it was like basically a newscaster for the school. And Terrell was one of the people that was actually like leading the newscasting for
Mm-hmm.
that. So she's kind of correlating him starting off as, oh, I do the news for the school, to now he's been on Channel 12 News and World News. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, but go ahead about the process. I'm sorry.
Right. No, so I can't excuse me, y'all. And if I drink some water, I'm sorry, y'all. Um, I can't base me standing on business and me getting to where I want to be off of what I saw somebody else do. And I
Mm-hmm.
think a lot of times we as humans do that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she got that or he got that, so I want that, so why am I not there yet?
Mm-hmm.
No, because they're standing on their business and you need to stand on yours.
Yeah.
Mind the business that pays you.
Come on. And also, um, the worst thing you can do if you standing on business is look at what somebody else doing.
Because you're gonna fall off your step. Okay.
Because if you're watching where you walk, if you look away, you might step in dog shit.
Step on the crap, break him on my back. Okay.
Bianca. But seriously, so
Right.
it's like if you're trying to get somewhere, you're trying to keep your shoes clean, watch where you're going. You can't pay attention to, the next person. And when you talk about just, oh, I'm standing on business, it can't just be a saying. And that's really what we're getting at. It can't just be a saying, it has to be actions. And sometimes you have to check yourself during the process, like, girl, you said that today you was going to call them people and do XYZ, and you
Right.
didn't call.
Right.
Because a lot of times I think, and we should feel like if it happened for this person, it can happen for me. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
However, like Bianca said, you don't know the steps that somebody else took. So it is a process.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to happen overnight. Um, but and that's something that we've always kind of spoke about. You know what I mean?
You're right.
But it goes with so many different correlations. But I think that you were saying that me and you knew what we wanted to do as far as career wise, and then you had started talking about Terrell. So go ahead and talk to them about that.
Right. So as we talked about, standing on business is a process. So as I stated, Lauren and I both knew we wanted to do in high school. So Lauren went to, it was this place called the Tech Center. And I think they did like cosmetology, they did nursing. It was a lot of different programs they did to help you, get along with what you further wanted to do. It was kind of like a stepping stone, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Lauren went to the Tech Center. She used to wear her little scrubs to work. I mean, scrubs to school and stuff, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And they got to leave school and stuff. But I mean, it was still school when they left, because they
Mm-hmm.
still had to go and really go into that program. I myself was in the journalism club. I was on the newspaper staff. My last year, I think I became like the co-editor. So after that, once we got out of school, we still furthered our education and still kept going with what we wanted to end up doing. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like, oh, we got out of school and Lauren worked at John Hopkins. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not on Channel 12 or writing for,
Mm-hmm.
oh shoot, girl, ain't no magazines out. I really wanted to work for Sister to Sister.
Mm-hmm.
But it was still a whole process, but we stood on business first about knowing what we wanted to do, knowing ourselves, and setting those goals. Boom. That's one step right there.
Mm-hmm.
After that, we stood on business about furthering our education and going into our prospective areas and schools to get more background, more knowledge. Boom, stood on business there. If there was further that we needed to do, Lauren got her white coat. I went and got my master's, stood on business there. So now, furthering that, we then went into our respective careers. Is this the end goal?
No.
It doesn't have to be, because we can still do more. We can still,
Right.
there's more to it. So, but we stood on business the whole time. It wasn't that, oh, we stood on business and then, okay, well, I graduated high school, but I'm not doing what I want to do. So did I really stand on business? But yes, you did, because you completed that one step.
Yeah.
It's a process.
Yeah. And also in between that, y'all, standing on business is not always cute. Like people want to post, oh, today I did this, and you want 1,000 comments saying congratulations, but you're not going to post the things, the obstacles. And so, like, I know when I was in nursing school, my gallbladder had became infected, and I had like a couple of gallbladder attacks. I didn't know what was going on. One day, my nursing instructor sent me to urgent care, and the people said, we got to take your gallbladder out now. So therefore, I had to miss school, which set my graduation date back 6 months. And yes, I was disappointed. Yes, I was discouraged, all of the things. However, I still got to the end goal. But had I not shared that with people, they wouldn't know. You know what I mean? So
Girl.
when we talk about standing on business, it's not always just I said it and I did it. No, it is the in between. It's the in between. Nothing happens without you doing the in between work. And it's just like with a relationship. Okay, let's say I get with somebody, or let's talk about just for a second. Just
I don't want to cut you off, but I do want to piggyback on what you just said
okay, go ahead.
because I was going to one school. I was going to Liberty University, and um, they started accepting more people than they could more people than they could hold, and there
Mhm.
was just a lot of stuff going on in like the registrar office. That's where you register and where they hold your grades and all this type of stuff like that. So they wasn't giving me my credits. So I had to transfer. And if you know, you know. When you transfer, sometimes all your credits are not going to transfer. And you're automatically somewhat a semester behind. So I couldn't graduate when I was supposed to either. I actually
Mhm.
graduated in in the winter of the following year that I should have graduated.
Yeah.
So we went in the same with that. So I was a little discouraged because, graduation, when you think about graduation, it's like what, June, May, it's
Mhm.
summertime, and you got all these graduation parties. Girl, I graduated in the winter and it was raining.
Mhm.
So,
But you know what? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, so I just feel like that was one and the same. I didn't know that about you. So it was, girl.
Yeah, but I think that is good, and I think that a mistake, not a mistake, but something I'll do moving forward. And I didn't do it when I was younger. I'm young, but I'm much smarter and wiser now. Anything that I go through, it's not that I'm telling my business, but I will not be afraid to share it while I'm going through it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times people wait until they get the business or whatever, then they want to talk about it. But I
Right.
think it's good to, while you're in something, while you're going through it, to be like, oh my God, this is frustrating. This has set me back. I was supposed to do it this way and I didn't. This was supposed to come and it didn't. However, y'all, I'm letting y'all know I'm still standing on business.
Per.
And you have to ask yourself, okay, if I'm going through all these things, and this question is for y'all, for the listeners, and viewers. um, if you're standing on business, it's like not only what is the foundation, but you can include anything instead of in place of the word business. Am I
Mm-hmm.
making sense?
Right.
So, and
That
you could give a couple examples, be like of some things you might include in there, or
I'm standing on respect. I'm standing on accountability. I'm standing on perseverance. I'm standing on faith. Um.
quick question though,
Okay.
because I want to dig a little deeper into that real quick. If you're saying I'm standing on faith, what is the circumstances behind that? Like, okay, I may say this year I want to be go deeper with God. I want to get to know him and he get to know me more. So I'm standing
Mm,
on faith.
okay.
So when you say I'm standing on respect, accountability, like what are the circumstances behind that?
Okay. I'm standing on respect, meaning that I'm going to give it regardless of. I hate that. I'm not gonna say I hate that saying, but you gotta give respect to get it. Not necessarily. I'm gonna respect you regardless because what you do on your side ain't got nothing to do with me.
Hmm.
But I then know how to carry myself around you. I know then
Hmm.
that you don't need any parts of me, but I'm still gonna be respectful and cordial and things of that nature. So I'm standing on respect, meaning that I'm going to give respect, but I am going to, somewhat demand it back. But
Yes.
I can't hold you accountable for not giving it to me because that's something that you have going on for yourself. So therefore, if I see that you're not giving it to me, then I know then that this is something that I need to take myself. I need to, get out the equation, so
Okay.
I'm not going to keep demanding something from somebody when I see that you're not giving it to me the first time.
Okay. So I like that. I like how you broke that down because like we said, we don't just want to say, oh, I'm doing this. Like, we want to know the foundation behind it, like the reason behind it. And I think that it's big that you say, I'm going to give respect, because to be a respectful person, for somebody to say, she is a respectful person, that means you give respect.
Right.
So you want to be known as a respectful person, whether
Right.
how other people want to be perceived.
Mhm.
Why are you standing on accountability this year?
I'm standing on accountability because as I'm getting older, I'm starting to see that certain things are not going to happen unless I make them happen. And so for that, I have to be sure that I'm on my 10 toes, I'm standing on it, and I'm making sure that things are going in a way that I need them to go. But some things are only going to go that way unless I put it into motion. So I have to be accountable for when things do not go the way I want them to. And I find out that, oh, I didn't. Prime example, I'm in the process of moving. So I know that I have to be accountable for making things happen. I have to call the heat and gas company within a certain time frame so that my lights and everything can be on. If I'm outside of that time frame, then my light's just not going to be on when I need it, when I need it to be. So I need to hold myself accountable for making that happen, for making
Yeah.
that phone call. I need to, hold myself accountable for, I don't know, I think just for making things go the way I need them, for making things go the way I need them to go, when I'm the sole purpose or sole reason for it going that way.
Yeah.
Nobody else is going to do it but me. So when it
Right.
falls through the cracks, I can't blame anybody else but myself.
Right. I love that. And it's so good to be honest with yourself. And so for those who are listening, for this part one of the episode, we do want to leave you guys with a question. Whether you write it in your journal, whether you just think about it in your own mind, whether you have a conversation amongst your group of friends, what words are you replacing business with? So instead of standing on business, I'm standing on blank. What are some of those words? And then talk to yourself about why. Why are those some of your words? And we're going to do the same. We're not just saying it just to say it. We're going to do the same as well. So we just wanted to leave you guys with that kind of thinking prompt or writing prompt. What are you standing on? So what word are you putting in the place of business?
Or you can still keep business and still have the subtopics. I'm standing on business, but my business includes this, this, this. You know what I'm saying? So you can
That's
do it either way, you guys.
That's good too. That's good too, y'all. So get to writing, get to texting, get to sharing, whatever it may be. And then don't just write it for the assignment. Write it, keep it, pray on it, meditate on it, talk about it, nurture it, water it, all of those things. So yeah, that's what we want to leave y'all with for part one. And that's a wrap, baby. OMG, guys, we hope you enjoyed it. We hope you had fun listening. We hope that you were able to take something with you from this episode. And if you did, head on over to our Instagram page right now and tell us about it at RFAR_pod. That's RFAR_pod. Drop us a comment. Leave us a DM. We're family now. Until then, you know the motto. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And if you don't have any friends, go make some just so you can tell them about Rose from a Rock Pod. Peace out, y'all.